ladies and gentlemen, I feel really bad for this album because of when I bought it, 2019, when it first came out. But 2019 was not a good year for me, and somehow this album kind of fell through the cracks, even though it was in my collection. Listened to it, loved it, but I had a lot going on in my life at that time, and I kind of forgot about it along with all the other albums that were going on. I mean, going into the pandemic and lockdown, various concerts that I was going to at the time, it just kind of got lost in the shuffle. And I'm talking about the Raconteurs Help Us Stranger. That's how much it fell through the cracks with me, as I still don't even remember the name of the album. And it's a shame because honestly, track for track, this is probably their best album, in my opinion, if you're going at least for a more commercially acceptable, pop friendly kind of vibe. And it's not a pop album, let's be clear. It's just more of a commercial album, less artsy like the previous two albums were. I'm just going to get into this one. So the album's up with Bored and Raised. And this is bored as in to bore a hole and raised as to raise a building. You know, or to completely destroy the building, I guess. Another version of saying raised. Weird. Anyways, really dig on this tune. Starts the album up really nicely. Gives you a great vibe, good energy. Perfect album starter. And, you know, with it being, you know, looking at this as a traditional album, you know, record stations could easily throw this one on right away and just let it run kind of deal. That's how record stations still ran. You need to go back to the old school. Then you get into the album's title track, Help Me Stranger. This definitely, if it was not a single, should have been a single, could have been a single, great tune. Does the job properly, really enjoy it. This is really just kind of a nice, upbeat kind of song. Makes you kind of happy and enjoyable, you know what I'm saying? Then we're into Only Child. I really dig this tune. Really dig this tune. But it's an album cut. Beautiful album cut. But it's an album cut to me. And I don't know, you know, like I wouldn't put it on like my top 10 for the Raconteurs, but you know, when you listen to this album, you got to listen to it and enjoy. Don't Bother Me. This one kind of reminds me a little bit of, with the vocal presentation of the Dead Weather, a couple tunes from the Dead Weather. Really dig this one. That's one of the things I like about the Raconteurs is you got four guys from different bands that all come and get together every so often and record and release an album. By the way, they're long overdue since it's been 6 years. They really should get back together. And with the White Stripes getting into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, I'm hoping that the Raconteurs aren't far behind. But you know, Jack White doing so many projects and whatnot, he brings a lot with him from other projects. And you could say that that means that he's copying from other projects or he's borrowing and whatnot. But that's one of the great things about rock music, man, was when people used to borrow and modify and get inspired by other people's riffs and styles and stuff like that. And, you know, it was always about growth and experimentation. And no one, that's the biggest problem with rock and roll is the lack of experimentation. You know, it all became about being commercially friendly and successful. Which is funny when I say that this is, you know, probably their most commercially sounding album. Where was I? That was Don't Bother Me. Okay, Shine a Light on Me. This is a good tune. Really great energy on it, man. I really positive and uplifting again. Some Days I Don't Feel Like Trying. This one's a great song. Kind of has like two songs in it, you know. There's the first half, which kind of, you know, mellow and chill, and then it kind of gets in this little more somber, rocky vibe in the second half of the song. Really, really enjoyable. I don't know. It might end up in the top 10. If I do a Raconteurs top 10, I might put that in the top 10. Next up, you got Hey Jip, Dig the Slowness. This is one of those ones that when the album's playing, I enjoy it. When the album's not playing, I don't think about it. Sunday Driver, I don't mind. Good album cut. Now That You're Gone, another one, good album cut. Live a Lie. That's a good album, Kit. What's Yours Is Mine. This is another one that, if it wasn't a single, should have been a single. Once again, this is an album that kind of slipped through the cracks for me, and because of it, I don't know what were singles, what weren't singles. I didn't bother to look before doing this review either, because the reality is singles are great and everything like that, and saying, hey, this would be a single, this wouldn't be a single, this should be a single, this shouldn't have been a single, that's a wonderful thing to do to get the album some notice. But at the end of the day, what I care about is the album itself. And speaking of, I think What's Yours Is Mine should have ended the album instead of Thoughts and Prayers. I do like Thoughts and Prayers. I almost feel like Thoughts and Prayers should have opened the album almost. Just to give it a kind of a different vibe going into the album. I really kind of prefer when an album leaves you wanting more at the end, not having that full proper conclusion. Having that proper conclusion can work with certain albums. You know, Alice Cooper with all his concept albums, having that conclusion is great. That's what makes the album wonderful, having that finality to it. But this isn't a concept album. It doesn't need that finality. It needs you to die in for more. That's how I feel about that. What do you think about this album? That's what the comment section is down. What the comment section down below is for. I am interested. Am I overselling this album? Am I underselling this album? What do you think about this album? All right. On your way down the comment section, you'll see a couple links as well. Check those out. That'd be great. Like button, subscribe button, bell for notifications, please and thank you. Otherwise, folks, peace, love, take care.